Okay, so I'll just get my stuff set up and got her going. So we'll see what she does next. She was just snoozing away, and I was like, oh, perfect timing. And she's snoring hard. And I was like, I'll just get up and do this. And that'll be perfect timing. And then I'll go snooze a little bit. And, why? What are you doing, Stella? She just, I swear to gosh, she's such an attention whore. She's gotta have all the attention all the time. Oh my gosh. Will you come and lay back down? You know I was about to start working. Lady. Oh. Okay, we're just getting started, but let's just go with it. As a welcome to my life. It's totally raining. I forgot that I'd opened my car doors because it's so smogged inside. I've got a horrible headache. I don't even know how to. I did some magnesium spray. I walked outside barefoot, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Everything just feels weird and just feels weird. Like I keep having like these weird like feelings inside of me and like sensations and stuff. So I don't know. It could be the energy, it could be the weather, it could be the poisons. Like, who knows? It could be the frequency. It could be I slept wrong. I don't know, but I got a fucking bad headache. And so, but there was a few things I want to talk about. So, one, like on TikTok, I swear to God, there's a movement going. And it's kind of picked up steam, which is kind of dropped off the bitchy people. Because it was over this. I mean, it was mental. I cannot believe how many people, you start saying something about health and it changing your hair color. How the triggers. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I had biology experts, hairdressers for 35 years. What was the, let's see, the hairdressers, the biology people. Oh, and the people just with the gray hair who love their gray. They would never give their gray up for nothing. And how dare you for even, like, what is wrong with y'all? It's like, it's so crazy. Oh my God. It's so, anyways, yeah, that, but that has kind of petered off, but this coolest fucking thing today. So I have tons of people talking to me all day long. That could be why I have a headache too. It's like, maybe it's like overstimulated my brain or something. But I have all these people asking me questions, and my eyes too. It's really hard to read the writing when it's so small. It's like really hard for me to focus. I'm kind of like moving my head around, trying to move it and see it. Sometimes I wonder if I even get all the words right. So if I ever say things that are weird and you're like, what did she say? It's probably because I couldn't read it good. I don't have the best eyesight yet, but it's improving. Like I would already be fucking, I mean, where I would be if I would have kept going in their direction. Like, you know, luckily I went into the natural way because, you know, and who knew it was going to take off so much, you know? I guess it's kind of like another eye-opening thing. The same that happened to me. Like, that is so true. What was that? That was in like something with the astrology or something. Or was it like a channeler or something where they said there will be another wave that would be kind of like 2020 of like this awakening part where you would just, another thing you would see. And definitely the whole thing on aging. And even though, you know, knowing about, you know, they're poisoning us and stuff like that. And But this whole thing. And anyways, and so it's just, it started like this whole wave. But anyways, I'm talking to all these people, and this person sent me a video, and I'll just TikTok and YouTube are messing with my stuff. They're making comments disappear. They're taking away followers. They're taking away, I've seen them flip, and they're just flipping back a couple now. They're flipping back 10 or 20 on views and stuff like that. They're flipping numbers and stuff. It's weird. And I don't, it's going to break free. Whatever. The energy is building. People want to get healthy. People want to feel better. And that energy is building. And all of those of us who have been on that path, I have said this for a long time. It was going to be like all eyes were going to shift in a new direction. And so, and the wind will show, and the direction is towards sovereignty and independence and health and putting things into your own hands and connecting with nature and connecting with your body and, healing old wounds and letting go of things and getting more in sync and living harmoniously. And so anyways, that's what we're going into. So that's like where you can see like the stuff that needs to be purged out, and you can see it coming to the surface. You can see this stuff purging out in society. And so to me, it's like really obvious. And so anyways, so this lady sent me this video this morning, and but it was just weird while I was doing it. It was because her thing all of a sudden disappeared, and I couldn't find her. And then luckily I had sent the video to my mom right as soon as I started watching it. And then I tried to make a duet, and then as soon as I put the duet up, immediately it said community guidelines, and it wouldn't let me. It said it was taken down for community guidelines, and I appealed it, and it said that it was, what was my crime? It's absurd. I think I didn't have high enough quality video or something. I did it as a duet. But so there's a thing you can do as a duet where you just leave that as the thing. But you're like on a green screen. But if you duck down, then you can't be seen, and then just show the video. So that's what I did. I just showed the video and just ducked down. And so it was this doctor, and I mean, it was just absurd how they took it down like that, but somehow it keeps going, and it's got like 150 views. So I don't know what's going to happen with it, and I'm going to share it in, I'll share the TikTok that I made, and I'll also share his video. So I'll try and share both in the link of this video or in the comments. So I'll put it in the comments or in the description, maybe both. And, I don't know. They just are so, they don't want people to get all this information. So anyways, this is some doctor some clinic, and they are trying to help people, and honest and all this kind of stuff, and more naturopathic, I guess. And, so he's talking about copper, and he's talking about all the things it causes from being deficient in copper. And a gray hair and white hair is a sign of it, especially white hair. And that, but see, it's all these different minerals. So even if you have gray hair and you start drinking copper and it's not really changing, try selenium. Selenium could be your thing. It is best to get a whole bunch of different ones. I swear to God, to me right now, is how I'm looking at it, is to get copper cups to drink your water out of. You got to have good water too, and that makes you drink more water. And so drinking more water, and get mineral salts. There's several mineral salts that have almost all the minerals you need, and at least more than half. And so get the real mineral salts and use those. Get cast iron and cooking cast iron. Get rid of all the Teflon. Get rid of all those freaking pans, and get back to basics and cooking cast iron. And this doctor was saying that people who have like iron deficiency, and they're trying to take iron because they got anemia. And see, this is so common People also with the aging. This is another aging curriculum, isn't it? So it all goes together. It's all mineral deficiency, and they did it to us all on purpose. And it's, why we were all like, well, how did they a long time ago? Well, I was like, well, weren't they supposed to be real sick back then? And they lived to be 800 or 900 years old, and we're dying now and we're 60. Like, what's up? So, yeah, it was all fucking bullshit. And that was their kind of trap, I guess, with the reincarnation recycle, just hurry and kill people out. And then if we come back by our own free will, that they keep it going with this shortened cycle. But it also, when you're coming in for such horrendous lives, the shortened cycle is better, I think. I don't want to go through some of that stuff for 800 or 900 years. No, thank you, please. I would just assume like the short lives were these horrible ones. And oh yeah, this girl I just saw talking about this, like the zombie apocalypse with all these people on these drugs in the streets and stuff. And she was doing a really good video on that. And I totally agree that there's things around like alien invasion, zombie apocalypse, like this stuff is happening around us already, I think. So, anyways, and this doctor said, in order to absorb iron, you have to have good copper absorption. You have to have a good amount of copper in your system. And he said that because the copper builds your gut strength, not just make it more healthy, but it like builds its strength up. And it is necessary for the absorption of other nutrients, like I've said, and specifically iron, which creates anemia. And I bet you there's just so many other things, because this guy even said varicose veins, diverticulitis, wrinkles, all that, copper deficiency. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is only a couple months in. I feel like, in a year it's going to be like, we're back to our youth, like we're back to feeling really good and healthy. If you are taking care of yourself. Like, if you're just abusing yourself, like there's only so much yourself can take. Like, yourself will give out. You can't just, keep driving your car on sugar water, So anyways, so this doctor was confirming all this stuff that I was saying. So then all these people were in the comments like, oh my gosh, this is saying just what you're saying. These haters have been saying all this stuff. So yeah, there's confirmation out there, this doctor's clinic. And so anyways, I'll say the thing, because then they also say that they'll do legit testing and try and figure out what you really, I'm getting such a weird feeling in my head right now. See, I'm having the weirdest things. It's like some sort of a head rush or something, like really like lightheaded, where it feels like all the air is being sucked up out of my head. Oh, my airhead. It's all sucked out of my airhead. I've been called an airhead so many times in my life. But all the air just got sucked out. So I'm no longer an airhead. I'm a 62 billion year old, whatever. I'm still evolving. But I am seeing more of, my truth. Like, I am legit helping people. Like, I can't tell you how many people all day long are just so thankful that they found my channel, they found my information. And, and so many people have given up hope and just feel lost. People have been struggling and they're getting nowhere with their doctors, and they're just at their breaking point. And so people are really thankful too to have people who have some medical understanding that can explain things, so that they can understand, like, not like there's certain things that I can say where it's clear that I understand what I'm talking about, like it's crazy. Like, all these people come in and try and argue with me, and they're like, well, I took biology, or I think I've talked to biology experts. They all claim, like, because they read a book or something. It's like, dude, that is the problem. That's what they did on purpose. That's the corral. They set it up for us to corral each other. And then and it's so wild too, because there's like ego, there's all this hierarchy, but even in this ego system like this, there is people who are resentful. So it's like these other people are doing better. So then it's like this whole thing gets built up. Oh, so you think you're better than me? You think you're better so this all this toxic stuff is so developed in our communication, in our society, in our communities, you know. There's so much of, and people are so fragile, on edge. And that is another thing with these copper and all these different deficiencies also create problems with anxiety and mental health. Like that's a big one with magnesium. There's people who have been getting their mental health better by taking magnesium, zinc. Like, I was taking the zinc, but then I laid off of it because somebody said that caused an absorption problem with the copper. And so then I was like, well, I'm really on this, like, hair thing. So I really want to complete this little thing. I don't want to block any copper while I'm doing that. So until I get complete full absorption, till my body is like, okay, we got enough copper. And then I might literally have enough right now, because there is, when I pee, there is like a mineral smell. So maybe I'm dumping, because your body will filter out and dump all the extra. And that's why, like, there was this whole movement when people were just cramming handfuls of vitamins in their mouth. And then there was a whole thing about your body can only process so much. It's just dumping the rest into your urine, and it's just going in the toilet. And so you overdo it. It doesn't help. Like, with vitamin D, see, you're supposed to take a lot. So you're supposed to get like the 5,000 unit vitamin D. Supposedly anything under 5,000 unit is like, worthless or something. I don't know. It's not as, it's not as good. But this doctor said that it's really important, if you're taking this, to also take vitamin C. And there's a lot of people who keep saying about K, but then I have seen things where people are saying that K is completely synthetic. There's nothing, they can't find any link to anything natural. And so, I don't know. That's where people have got to go in and figure it out for themselves. Like, there's a lot of different minerals on the periodic table, and we're all made up of very unique structures. Like, our DNA is our own recipe, the minerals that we are made up of. And as we are going through life, and they're being depleted from us, and then we're taking in something that we think is giving back to us, but it's not giving back to us what we need. And then it starts making us bigger, but then we just, like, accept it. Like, there's such an acceptance of the deterioration of our health, although it was misleading in how they directed us, and it was all done in a nefarious, purposeful way. There was so much manipulation in this whole process. So that is, but everybody has got to figure out your own amount, and I know it's new, and I know everybody is kind of like handicapped right now and is kind of needing some assistance. And so, it is kind of exhausting when all this constantly people asking the same questions. And I even made a playlist, and but it's like, as soon as people see one thing about it, there's just, oh, I want to know more. Tell me more. Oh, this is what's happening with me. And that's where, I always get pulled in. Like, there's so many stories. There's good testimonials. There's crazy stories. I have people DMing me. I think that's how that one person sent me the video, but their thing disappeared. And then I have these fucking guys who don't even fucking stop too. I mean, these guys like, oh, seriously, do you want to be my sugar baby? It's like, oh my God, dude. And what is really sad is all those things that go into those are scams. And to think that some women, buy into that is even sadder. Some of them I just block them, but most of them I just ignore them. But still, it's like when you're having all these ones, you have those kind of interfere. because they kind of cause traffic. You know what I mean? It just causes more stuff that you have to read through to find. So, anyways, that's just bitching. I was just complaining. But anyways, so the thing with the movement though of people getting excited and getting like hope again, like that they can start taking care of themselves and feel better, that they can turn things around. It's just like, you know, people with varicose veins, copper deficiency, people with like eye problems, there's so many things. And all these minerals, all of them. So, and that's why each person's got to figure out like what exactly they need. And I have heard people tell that there's something about the time that you're born, and there's something about the minerals that your mom had while you were in utero. There's something about your zodiac, and that could be in reference to that. And there's something about your blood type. So, but I just know that your DNA structure is like, it's like your program. It's like your computer program. It's like your very distinct signature in the galaxy, like in the universe. And it's like based on a lot of things. This is why, like I've talked about with the food, yeah, like where those people were like, well, you got to be vegan. You got to be vegan. And I was like, this is absurd. You can't tell people, for one thing, you can't tell people what they have to do, what they need to do or anything. It's between them and their God. And you can't tell people to go against their own body and for a better cause or any of that stuff. People have got to learn to trust their own body and listen to their own body. And when your body is telling you that you need meat, you have to listen to your body. That is between, you know, you and your body. And that is based on your DNA. Like there's reasons, there's things. And I think it also, when your program, I think is also like has your lesson plan, your ride, your flight plan. So there's a lot to it. And there's a reason like why, because there's stuff coming out now with about the DNA and that they were trying to really get the DNA and stuff like that. I thought the whole time, I thought they were sending out just bullshit to people. Just like, oh yeah, you're 95% this, 2% that, 1%. And people will just be all excited. I was like, they could tell you anything. And you'd just be like, oh, look at mine, look at mine. Everybody's like, I was like, okay, I don't know about this. And, but I do feel like that they have been looking for certain DNA structures. Like if it's some sort of, like if there's something that they can read from like certain beings that have come here from certain places, certain vibrations, I feel like that they are looking for that. And I think that there's a lot, but I think that that is like how Corey Good got found. And see, they want to use people or destroy people. And so, but I think that the universe like shield a bunch of people so that they couldn't get to them, because this wave of this light is going to come in, this certain vibration is what wave is going to come in, and it's already going, it's already created. It's like a movement, and it's just like, you know, like me going and healing and going on this journey and finding these different encounters or successes, and then speaking my truth and talking about it, taking the risk of being seen and being attacked and still standing in your truth, not having support, still standing in your truth. That is where it's like we all want to get to that. Like that is that is a movement. And so that is creates an energy behind it. And it is like, it is picking up now the like any of the people who are you know, have this inner guidance of what you're supposed to be doing. Like you don't just stop at any point, you just keep going no matter what. Like there's so many times when, to me, I just keep on thinking stuff like whatever whatever you see in reality isn't real. So just keep going and trust your inner guidance, trust your instincts of what you're supposed to be doing. So even like if you're, trying to do something, like whatever forum that you are trying to make waves in or make moves in, and don't stop, don't let there be, when there's resistance, push through it and build your confidence pushing through it. And as you move through it, you pick up steam, and then you pick up people starting to follow and go in the direction, picking up, like, on your campaign. And in the movement, in the movement the universe wants is about healing, sovereignty, love, unity. So all those kinds of things, bringing people together, helping people to learn, to grow, because people have been so stagnated. I mean, people don't even know how to trust themselves, use common sense. People are so dependent on what other people think of them. They're so dependent on like the group think. Like, what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do? Well, what are you going to wear? Well, how, you know what I'm saying? It's really hard to be more of an independent thinker, or it takes a lot, it's more of a challenge. So there is a lot of growth and stuff that has to happen. And not in judgment, not like in, I'm better than you. That's why you're going to see all these people who have all been about, I'm the chosen, and we're better than them, and those people are never going to wake up, they're NPC. All those people are going to start falling off because they are not going in the direction. They may have been used by the universe, essentially, because to awaken people, but then it will be used to show truth. But it's those people's own truth that they have to face anyways. So it all works together. But so people who don't carry that energy will fall off, and that's where you're going to start seeing who's real and who's not real, because it's like the universe will take a wave of movement, because they have a certain wave that they are moving forward, the action. And it's just always been clear to me that it's about your sovereignty, you being like an independent thinker, being able to take care of yourself, being able to it has to do with all the healing and forgiveness and all the stuff that I talk about, all the positive growth and stuff about. That's the changes that they want in this new era. So those are the changes that will be moving forward in the direction. And so the people who have been going in that direction, that will be the movement that will sweep up and take off. And so anyway, that is what I see when I'm talking to all these people, is how much it is helping people. And then you start seeing like, oh, this is the way, this is the movement, this is where the stuff starts pushing in a certain direction. This is where, the dams go down and they can't hold it back. There's too much movement. People are too frustrated, and people are so ready for change. And the whole thing is like, to me, I'm like full service. I'm not just about like, oh, the copper. I am about your emotional and spiritual healing. I am all about mind, body, spirit. So, I bring in my perspective to share with people so that they can gain, whatever they want to gain from my perspective. And but there's a whole bunch of different ones. There's going to be a whole lot of different movements, because there's going to be a whole lot of different people on all different levels. But to me, everything has to do with the whole, the whole package overhaul. This is like, all the damage that was done, and all of the crises and the wrecks and stuff that you've gone through. It's like a total overhaul. So to prepare you, and I mean, everybody can, go in any way they want to. You can go in a shiny new rig, or you can go in a like a spiffed up, like to me, a spiffed up classic. That's what, to me, go spiffed up classic. But, everybody gets to, and that's a full overhaul. Like, you got to take out all the inside of the car. You got to take out all the motor. You got to take out everything. And so you have to really get down to the nuts and bolts. And then you find nuts and bolts that are broken, and you got to replace them. And, sometimes you got to find them. And so it's work. Like, my healing journey has been long, long. And so, yeah, to get to this point now to, feel good. And I can't even tell you, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm like bouncing off the walls. And there's a couple of dresses I want really bad at ThredUp. And they're going to run out while I'm on this. They'll come out of my cart because my time will time out. But these dresses, and I'm like, oh, I want those dresses so bad. I really got a dress. I like dresses. And so and I really want these ones, but I want my money in my account when I get to that office. Because if they say, okay, well, it will be this much. If you have it right now, we'll do it right now. I'm doing it right then. I mean, I've thought about this and thought about this. There'll be no more. Okay, well, I'll think about it. And I can't imagine, how much. I mean, like, that would be, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would pay anything, like, really. But I also feel like that would be really unethical to overcharge. And that is something that's so big right now in all these class action suits. That's a big thing, is all of this controlling the market, like, and how much we have to pay for things. So yeah, that would be really unethical, especially at this time. But who knows? Like, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I just feel like it's so close. And I still feel kind of nervous. It's like, oh man, it's an intense drive, to drive to Seattle during the week. So it's intense, but it keeps on saying that it will just be a little bit over 2 hours. So I feel like, okay, I can handle it. And I'm so excited. It's going to be so exciting. And I just keep feeling like I'm going to come home with no plastic, and I'm going to feel so much better. And I keep getting this cramp in my hand. I keep thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not going to say anything though about what if it's trying to migrate and it's pushing on a nerve. I don't want this doctor to be like, well, then we'll have to send you to a nerve special and all this stuff. I'm not saying shit, because it's fine. And I slept on it wrong or something. But anyways, I just made me think about that, because I think about a lot of stuff. And, oh, okay. Oh my God, let me nail her back in. Hold on. Oh my God, listen to my bones. Rickety. Come on, hurry up. I'm busy. Come on, Stella, hurry up. Stella. No, I'm doing my work. No, I'm not playing this game. No, sorry, sister. Go lay down. I'm doing this. God. See, she just goes in there and she keeps sneezing. I'm sure it's something out in our fucking, because of the rain and shit. I'm like, it's just nonstop. And one thing too, is I was feeling kind of sad, Oh my gosh, Stella, she's all wet. She needs to be dried off. I was kind of feeling sad, I was looking out the window. I was thinking, I just love this place. It's kind of sad. And then all of a sudden, this huge gust of wind came in, and the trees started bending and bending. I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's time. Yeah, I'm ready. Because I was like, fuck. If shit goes down with that, and then they've killed all these trees, and they do some big ghastly storm, and the water's coming up, and these trees start falling on houses and shit, because they're all like, oh man. And who knows how some of this shit is gonna go down. There's gonna be some crazy shit that's gonna go down for sure. Like, this is a big dramatic event. This is the pole shift. This is a cataclysm. We got scientists crying about it. So I think, I think the scientists are probably crying about it because they're they're not spiritually connected. They don't know who and what they are. Like, there's no reason to cry. There's nothing to be scared of. Even if, even if a tree did fall down, I just don't want to go through going through. I've been through enough of these windstorms at this point. Like, fuck that. Like, oh my gosh. And I haven't even been through a really bad one. Like, right before I moved in, the wind was 55 or 75 miles an hour. There's a whole bunch of trees fell on houses. It was blocked them in with the streets and stuff. It was a big, giant thing. And then I came, like, that happened in December of 2018. And then I moved in March of 2019. And when I moved in, there were still trees down and stuff. And fences, just all sorts of stuff. And I had no idea. So then every time when the wind starts going, I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I would talk to people. I got this one lady where I went and got wood for the first time. She, a tree fell on top of her house. And she said her grandkids won't even come back over because they were there. Well, they came over, but they won't spend the night anymore. And she was terrorized. And it crashed part of her house. And then insurance and stuff won't pay. She can't find people to fix it. She's got a big mess. And that happens to so many of these houses, like, especially people that don't have a lot of money, especially out living rural. You don't have all of this stuff available. And I don't know, there's going to be changes of how things are going to go. There's going to be so many changes. Even if it was that we still lived in like little communities like this, there will be less people. Like, people won't be going to jobs. People would be doing skills. People would be out helping each other. Like, it would be a lot different. It would be more like back what people were like when people lived like that. People just got off on how they were living and went and, got misled. Everybody started chasing something. Everybody got out from under their own, program keeps coming into my head, but it's like your own passion. But it's another word that I keep thinking about, that people are always talking about, that they're looking for their what they came here for. Like, I know what I came here for. I mean, I've been told and told and told. Like, I've been consistent for so long. Everybody who's ever looked at my palm, everybody who's ever read my cards, it's always been, I get the same message all the time. So I know what I came here for. I just didn't know how it was going to be. Like, like how it was going to play out. I still don't know. Like, I'm still just keep going on the path that, maybe that's the word, like, on your own path. Your own, no, it's a different word. But that when you start following your thing, whatever this thing is I'm trying to say, you will feel it inside of you. This to me is like where people sit there and talk about trying to manifest a life. To me, the life started being shown to me, and I started going in that direction. And that is you manifesting. You're going in the direction you're being led. There's so many people that try and manifest things that they're not being led to manifest. So they're just trying to make things happen. They're like fighting against this three-dimensional system. And, that's part of your lessons, I think, because you can't create something that you're not there for. Like, there's zillions and zillions of things. That's why you go life after life after life. So you can go in and experience zillions and zillions of things. But you're not just switching around. You came here for a purpose. Your purpose. So when you're looking for your purpose, that is like where, I knew my purpose. Or I was told my purpose. I just didn't know how it was going to work out. How it was supposed to, how it was going to form. And so anyways, that is where I just started following the directions that I was led, where they would tell me, because they talk all the time to me. They're always talking and always telling me, things, uh, how to look at things. Not, they don't tell you how to look at things. It's like you could be looking at something and then they'll point something else out. And it is always like this total aha moment. Just like where I was looking outside the window and I was sitting there kind of feeling all like sad or nostalgic and all, you know, I don't feel sorry for myself or whatever I was feeling. They pushed that in that wind really strong and hard, and the trees started bending over. It's like a reminder of like things are going to change, like things aren't going to be staying the same. Like there's going to be a lot of changes, and you know, this is your time. This is when you're going to be moving. I haven't seen anybody come yet still. I haven't gotten anything in the mail. There's something in the mail today I haven't gotten the mail yet. That just says my name on it. So I don't know. I was like, well, maybe this could be like some old people who said, well, we bought your house at the auction. And, you know, you would think if somebody was like that, that they would handle it of like, you know, that I mean, what an awkward situation. Really. It's like, it's one thing to go buy a house at an auction where nobody's living in it. But when somebody's living in it and you go buy it in an auction, like you have to deal with the person. And they don't know if I'm in a renter or anything. They don't know who I am. I don't see how anybody can know who I am. Even when they'd have to go and ask my neighbors, and I don't know that my neighbors would be saying, you know. But, I mean, people can be sneaky. I guess they can, I don't know. Because even when those people, I remember, pulled up in my driveway and got out of the car and started saying, hey, are you Kelly Hart? And I said, no. And how can they know? I mean, do they have my license? They have a picture of me? They could have, you know, but still, they don't know. I mean, Kelly Hart could have a sister. I do have a sister. A lot of people think we look alike. So, you know, how do they know? I'm sure my sister could pass for my ID if she took my ID. I mean, I think her hair is different than mine. And she's definitely shorter than me. Oh my gosh, let me finish what I'm doing, okay? I swear to God. When I started, she was freaking snoring. I swear. It's like, I'm telling you, it's like that there is an energy that of interference. It wouldn't matter if I waited a half hour, it would have still been the same thing. This is just what goes on. Oh yeah, and also I shared another video too. In that one video I shared a short, and this guy did this really cool breakdown where he was showing Jim Carrey as Joe, and like he was showing like his movements, how he falls. I mean, it is so exact. Like, it was trippy. I had never seen that before. And so I wanted to share it. And I thought it was really cool. So he did a part 2. In part 2, I was like, oh my gosh. There is no fucking way. It has got to be him. At least one of the characters. Probably the one who's, you know... and it makes sense, you know, to have a comedian. And especially a physical one. And, you know, when they can really get into his characters and stuff. But when you see the pictures of Fire Marshal Bill next to Joe, it's like, oh my gosh. That is totally him. There's no, and then they're even showing like something on Jim's face of how it goes down and then it kind of goes in. And on the mask, how it fits that same exact pattern is on his face. And if you take that face and you put it over, like they do it on half of it, it fits, totally fits. So anyways, I'm sure he's one of them. And I sometimes, like when I'll see him out walking, I always try and notice like how tall he is to everybody else, because Jim's tall. And there's a lot of them. Pay attention where he looks really tall. And I don't think, I mean, I don't know. Joe could have been 6 foot, but it seems like he was like 5'10" or something. I don't know. But I think there's another thing too, is that Joe had, well, was it a fake Joe? I just know that there was also a weird thing for a while where there was one of the people had brown eyes and one of the people had blue eyes. And so there could be another person. I'm sure there's like several people who play the Joe. I think they did that on purpose too, to make it seem so even more strange how his behavior is. But like this one that did the State of the Union, his eyes are definitely brown. But when you look at him, it looks like Fire Marshal Bill's eyes. Totally, with that mask and stuff. So anyways, I shared that video so you can see that video, and then sharing that doctor's videos on this one with the links so that you can see. And then I mean, somebody may want to check out his clinic. They may want to get more blood tests and stuff and see, you know, what they're really deficient in. Maybe an easier approach than just guessing and keep adding stuff in. But for sure, you know, there's the selenium. Like if your hair isn't, like if your hair is white, like mine was white, and then it started changing so much that doctor says, especially white hair, is a copper deficiency. And then some with the gray. But then there's other people who have the gray who started with the selenium. And so all the things, all I know is that we're all short in minerals, and that we all need these different ones, and that we all have to start figuring them out. And we can't just think that, like, you can't just do like exactly what somebody else does. You have, this is like training you to focus. Oh, I forgot I had this drink. Oh, I got all of these kombuchas. My kombucha, it is like I don't know, it's way too vinegary to me. There's a bunch of things changing. Like my taste buds, there's a lot of things changing. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I keep I'm in this metamorphosis or something. It keeps changing and changing and changing throughout. But anyways, this kombucha, but I don't think I don't know. I kind of feel like this place is a place in town, but you know, when you make your own, there's like none that really compare. Like this doesn't, it tastes more like a seltzer or a soda or something than it does like kombucha to me. But it's really good because it's, this is original ginger. I like ginger stuff. Anyways, let me take a drink real quick. My throat is killing me. That place is in town too. Like you can go into it. It's like a little, sandwich shop, and then they have other drinks too, like a bar. But you can get kombucha right out of the tap. I think that's fun. So that's what I always get. But I haven't been there in a long time. So ever since my daughter left, I don't ever, like I used to go into town and we would go do stuff like that all the time. But not now. Now I just sit out here and hang out with Stella. Sit out in the poisonous rain place and sit here with Stella. And I think this time period is coming to an end and something new is starting. And so I just keep trying to focus on that energy of excitement and seeing what's to come. And I'm super excited for Wednesday and seeing what's going to happen on Wednesday. I feel like the universe is like, I feel like things are going into place. I think things are falling into place. So I feel really positive. So, you know, going into it, I'm going to feel really positive and excited to see what happens. And then I feel like, fuck, man. I feel like it is going to just be like, like such a new you kind of year after that, you know what I mean? Even though like there's like people, because I said like there's people coming in and trying to say really snotty stuff like, oh, but you have wrinkles. I didn't say every wrinkle had disappeared. I said this is reversing your aging. Like, check with me next year. Let's see how I look then, because I feel like it just gets better. And that doctor said that the copper removes wrinkles. And another big thing of what creates the wrinkles is this lymph thing. Like all of a sudden I'm hearing so much about that all over the place. People keep talking about it. Even there was some model photo shoot that they did with an older model who I've talked about before, Paulina, and they did a model shoot with her, and she got a lymph facial beforehand, and she couldn't even believe the difference. So, you know, there's some sort of thing taken off with all that. And it really does. Uh, um, oh, because there was one thing too, is you know, when I was talking about how I was having all that pain back here and clenching my jaw. Once I moved that and I kept doing that and doing that, moving that lymph, it totally changed that whole thing. It doesn't hurt like that now. And I don't know that I'm even clenching it. And I don't know if I was clenching it because it was hurting or something. I don't know. But it's not doing that now. And it is not hurting like that. But, you know, when I've been doing all of this lymph and moving all this, now I feel kind of like, I don't know if I want to keep messing with this. And this one, you know, my scar tissue from when I got hit in the face with the chair, I keep trying to move or mush that too, which I don't even know if that's a good idea. But I would imagine you can. It just kind of hurts. You just got to keep doing it and doing it consistently, I would imagine. But anyways, doing it around my eyebrows and stuff where I started feeling like, kind of like there was like a lump or something. And so now this one keeps like breaking out or something. I was like, oh, and it's like this little lump thing. I was like, see, this is another one. And I don't know if I disturbed it by moving the lymph around it, but it needs to be released. But a whole nother one has started. This one is, today it seemed kind of like, I had another horse paste. And so I had this one, and I put horse paste on it. And then I have this weird thing right here too that I have no idea what this is. And so I thought I'll put the horse paste on that too. And so it's just like this bump right under my lip. And sometimes I bite my lip and make a bruise, but this is like a whole bump. And so I don't know. I feel like we're constantly under attack. And so anyways, but the rubbing, those, I was like, I think maybe I had lodged some of that, if there was like a pocket of botulism stuck in there or something. And so if I loosened it, now it's erupting and doing the same thing. So I put the horse paste on there. And then I feel like that there was something going on inside my nose, because how the parasite, like if you think about cancer as a parasite, and you think about, like, if we'll just use this as an example. And so you get the botulism in there, creates this bacteria, it's churning away in there. It starts eating away at your tissue, and it starts creating these sores and these scabs. You keep going in, and they're like, oh, I don't know. And then eventually they do a biopsy, and then who knows what the biopsies really say. Do they really say, you know, these worms are in there eating their face? Or do they just say, oh, it's malignant, and so we're going to have to cut that whole area. So they'll cut that whole area. But all of the stuff that is eating to stay alive and living off of your tissues, it will go down in through all the tissue. It will go down and start eating into bone. It will eat everything around it. And so that causes the decay and stuff like that. But that's where they start saying, well, we'll go in and dig it out. Well, we don't want them digging our faces and stuff. They would just Frankenstein the fuck out of us. So I'm taking the oregano oil on my finger and putting it up in my nose. And that is, that kid study said that's stronger than any antibiotic. And so I'm doing that a couple times a day. And then I did the horse paste on them. And then still with the Sayak tea, which I'm not sure if this one is even good, but I have soursop leaves. And soursop leaves are supposed to be apricot seeds and soursop leaves if you're trying to fight any kind of resistant microorganisms like what I'm talking about. And so so trying to fight it on all means, you know, to really combat what's going on instead of going in and having them start cutting parts of you off. So just keep dealing with like the cleansing and stuff. And, you know, it's going to take on a new thing when it's on your skin. you know, when it's in your gut or it's in your kidneys or all these other places, but it's all the same stuff, you know, whatever it is. You got to just keep fighting the parasitic debris, decay, the bug, whatever it is. You got to just keep fighting it. And it always, to me, when I was a nurse and stuff, the thing to me always seemed like, always focus on your symptoms. Like, don't focus on diagnoses and shit. Focus on your symptoms and work on your symptoms. So whatever your symptoms are, work on those. And so find herbal teas, find natural things, you know, and then keep building up. It's like building up your strength by taking in more vitamins and minerals. It makes you stronger, just like that doctor said. Like, your gut health is not, you can't improve your gut health if you have a copper deficiency. Look how many people have poor gut health. That right there, and how malnourished people become and sickly. Like, there's so many things, and it's just so crazy how it's done on purpose. But when you even get to the next step of how many doctors, like, how do these doctors not catch on? This is like their daily shit. This is weird, man. Well, obviously some, because like this doctor, and he's like, we were just all, you know, like they want to be ethical or something. Well, you can watch this video yourself and you can decide. I'm not going to tell you how to think or what to think or who to trust or what to buy or any of that stuff, because we all have to make those decisions for ourselves. And people ask me all the time, like, what cup and what magnesium and what this and what that. And, but, you know, what works for me may not work for anybody else. Like, if somebody starts doing exactly what I'm doing and something's not working, that's not because it's only going to work for me. Well, that recipe only may work for me. You've just got to find your own recipe. But the system, the healing and making yourself reverse aging will work. You just got to find your recipe. You got to find what it is that your body is shorted in, or what your body is needing. And then it creates like these resistant patterns and stuff inside of people. And I'm sure there's links if like, I'm sure like all the diabetics are probably short a certain thing. All the people who have kidney disease are probably short a certain thing. Like, I'm sure there's certain patterns that you would be able to start finding and catching on to and seeing, you know, just like the gray hair. And then to know like, oh, well, that's a sure sign you got copper deficiency. And then for this one doctor to say it, so all these other doctors, what are they, a bunch of just nimrods? Apparently, there sure is a lot. And it's just crazy how these are like high paid people in our society, respected all over society. And it's just like, oh my God. You see how the tables are turning. You see how the awakening works. You see how you have to start like, it's like a slow drive. Like you're driving by like, oh my gosh. You have to, it's like you're witnessing yourself. You know, the trust that you gave, what your surrender. And then you see the truth of like, oh my gosh. You know, but that's the big move that is happening. The big wave. You know, and I'm glad to be creating this wave. And it's wild. It's like, it was like destiny. I mean, it's always been destiny. Everything's destiny. But, I mean, some of the things that I was saying right after my brain injury, it was like playing out now. It's like trippy. And so, you know, I did want to throw the medical, you know, I wanted to expose them. I wanted everything to be exposed. And, you know, I've just, you know, that was... that was in 09. So what is this, 24? And that was 09. And here it is, where I'm getting to all the time tell people about what went on, what happens in medical, what you have to watch out for, and you know, the corruption and the bullshit. And so, you know, and I'm just catching on to that wave, the wave of their own demise, their own destruction. Like, I didn't create the wave. They created it themselves. I'm just the whistleblower, you know. I'm just somebody speaking out. And so, but I get to ride that wave. And, you know, there's great value in that. There's great of a release of being able to, you know, I was supposed to, my lawyer was fighting for this $2 million in court. But and now it is more of like it's more freeing, it's very freeing to be able to be a part of, to wake people up, to get people to see your health is in your own hands. These people are not going to help you. And then plus just starting that conversation and going through all of the haters and the people who fight against you gets more conversation going in the comments. So it gets more people that come in and see. And then there's so many conversations going in the comments, people talking to each other and helping each other. And okay, God, you're so dramatic. And helping each other. And see, that's the wave, that's the ripple. That's how we're all connected. And so, and it gives people like a safe space to go in and talk about their health concerns and what's going on with them and what they've experienced. And then people get to say, what they are doing and how they're fixing it and stuff. So anyways, that is the change. That's the movement. And that is what we are in. We are in this movement. We are in this change. It's already occurring. The action is happening. And so, and, I don't know, if you think about, Jim being, I would say he's going to make a fine finale. He's going to, I would think that there would be something really, funny or silly or crazy or something. Like, I don't know, Joe fall down a whole flight of stairs, and land with his arm behind his back or something. Like, no telling. I don't know. We'll see. There's got to be something. There's got to be something that, Joe is going to turn everything in the other direction. I don't know. Maybe they'll just, maybe they'll have a funny thing where they'll come in and try and handcuff him or something. And then there'll be something funny and silly. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I swear to God, I feel like it's close. I feel like everything's close. And I feel like everything is already moving. Like people are already shifting. People are already making moves towards taking care of themselves, and just that is the whole part of seeing. And how many people on my things keep saying like, how it's like timing. It's like they were ready for it, and then all of a sudden they heard it, and then it was like all of a sudden it just clicked. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like this timing thing. Everything is this timing where everything is just all of a sudden starting to click in, where people are starting to, there's starting to be information at the same time that people are ready to take in the information. And so anyways, right now, it's really burning in there too. I don't know, maybe it's really killing all whatever's up in there. But when it looked to me last night or yesterday, I kept thinking it looks really red and swollen way up there. So I was like, man, if there is, because there's also like this sore right here, and there is, the sore right here. There was that black. I think that's getting better. I keep doing the lymph moving, but that black, for one thing, the real dark black that was down in there, that seems to have gone. But sometimes there'll be like a black line right there. But it seems like it all goes right down there. But I just keep pushing and moving the, whatever it is, through the lymph. So you keep moving it through the lymph and get it down to where you can get it in your circulatory system. But you still have those other kinds of things you can do. It was Shang Dong Wang, like, it's like Eastern philosophy, Eastern movement, Eastern things like that, like from China and Japan and stuff. So different kinds of movement, like things that monks do. If you can go look on YouTube under, like there's some monks that have YouTube things that show like these exercises and meditations and stuff. Those things help you move like your chi and your lymph and stuff around. And so you want to keep your circulation going and moving all that stuff and getting it through your kidneys and lung and your liver. But see, that's why you don't want to keep your kidneys and your liver all blocked up and sickly. That's why you got to keep doing all this detoxing, because there's so much toxins in our environment that your kidneys and your liver are on overdrive. They can't even keep up with all of the, as long as you're putting chemicals in, there's too many. There's too much for it to keep up with. That's why so many people are just getting so sick. So that's why you got to stop. You know, get rid of as many of those as you can. As much of the places as you can cut chemicals out. You just got to keep doing that. And then your system will start, you know, you can start building up your immune system. And then plus you got to get the parasites out. Like most people have them in there. And then people who have these reoccurring cancers that just keep coming back and coming back and coming back, that is like your bio, your internal biosphere or something, like your internal habitat is like too acidic or too alkaline, I think has what it has to do with. But there's something that I'm sure would be improved by getting the right minerals and the right vitamins, but it puts everything out of sync or out of balance. And so then you have this bio, I can't make it out, but it is like this biosystem inside of you that it needs to be, it's like reorganized, and so it's like running better. So anyways, it's the like clearing out all the toxins, getting your kidneys and your liver more, so it's more in the now moment. So it's clearing stuff as it comes and having everything running good, getting parasites and stuff. So getting the parasites out, and then like changing your biosphere inside of you so that you have is either more alkalinity or more acidic, whatever you'd have to figure out. And that's why maybe this doctor's clinic or some other doctors like this could help you figure out like where you are in that kind of place. Like if you are very acidic, then I would think you need more alkaline so that you don't have so much of that stuff able to grow in you. And then there's something all with this fungus. Like there's a thing about this fungus growing in people. Like there's all sorts of stuff. So everything is about like cleaning it up, man. And it's just wacky how there's some of these people that just would choose to have their gray hair over anything. They're not going to choose their health over gray hair, for God's sakes. They want to have beautiful gray hair. You got your own lessons, girl. You do you. Like, that's fine. Why are you arguing with me? It's not like I'm chasing you down, begging you. I'm not approaching you at all. Like, I don't even know you. So, anyways, was there anything else? Like, let me think if there was anything else. My nose hurts. My head hurts. And I do have to go out and shut my car doors. I guess I got to go out to the mailbox too. Is there anything else? I'm just super duper excited about this week. I feel like this week is, I don't know, could be my metamorphosis coming out. I was like shedding my last bit of my old self. Well, it's not, oh yeah, because that's this thing I was going to say. It's not really shedding my old self because I still have all these tattoos. And that's one thing is like these people, they'll come in and say, this one lady especially, she's like laughing at me. Oh my God, you have all those tattoos and you're going to try and tell me about not taking chemicals? It's like, oh my God. So anyways, but I mean, when we finally get the med beds, you know, and whenever that's going to be, then yeah, all of that stuff, I think all the ink and stuff will come out, all the toxins and all that stuff. So yeah, but I can't go and change that now. They're already there. Like I can get the plastic, I can get the explant done, but I can't go and suck the ink out of me. I mean, the med beds can, apparently. So, but anyways, yeah, I have awareness that I have other chemicals. I also have silver in my teeth, which I'm still working on this thing. I don't know if there's really any improvement yet, but no matter where your teeth are, don't give up on that. Like, don't let them start pulling your teeth out and shit. Just keep doing the mineral packing and the oil pulling. And a lot of people prefer coconut oil pulling. And so whatever it is, you just look up about it. Just do research about oil pulling and clay packing your gums and stuff. Or mineral packing, not clay packing. I think it's mineral clay packing. But anyways, there's all sorts of improvement stuff. And then like you can get the food grade peroxide and do some gargles with that too, and that will clear all clean or kill bacteria in your mouth. And so do that if you've got a lot of bacteria and stuff in your mouth. Like if you have a lot of gingivitis, then keep cleaning your gums, like keep flossing and flossing. And then when you floss, get that food grade peroxide and do some swishes and just be consistent. Don't get put off if it takes like a few weeks or a few months, you know, depending on your health and your oral health, all of it together. You know, I mean, some people could take them quite a while. Just don't give up. Just keep consistent. Just keep going at it, and you'll see improvement. You'll just keep going at it, Just don't give up. And so, was there anything else? It seems like that there was, there is so much more talk, though, about that face up by the sky. Like, there is people saying that is real. That is a real face. Or that is a real person. And that what was getting me is, like, I keep seeing these videos about, like, these islands and these mountain ranges and all this. There are these giants. Well, that is what's, like, the size of what this being looks like he would be. Is the same size as these ones that laid down, like, as islands and stuff. And I was thinking, it would be like the Titans or something. But I was like, oh, my gosh, what if these are, like, these giants from way back? Like, it would be so huge. But I don't think they would come down like that. And just, I mean, maybe they just are watching us. Maybe they're going to, I don't know. Like, the shit is just, I don't know. Who knows? Like, is it going to go into some crazy supernatural, like, sci-fi movie? Like, we're going to leave this horrible Armageddon movie here soon, and we're going to go into some crazy sci-fi movie. We're going to be walking around talking to giants, so curious. Maybe we don't need to fly anywhere. We just make a reservation, and the giant just picks us up and, you know, sets us down somewhere else. I don't know. Who knows what's to come? Whatever it's going to be, we signed up for it, that we came here for it, and we are excited for it. I feel really excited, and like really excited about what's to come. And I mean, it seems kind of creepy if it's going to be a lot of bad stuff that we got to get through, but I'm focused on the good stuff. Like, I know there's going to be bad stuff. There keeps being bad stuff, but there's going to be a lot of good stuff, and so it's not like I am unaware that the bad stuff is happening, but if you just focus on the bad stuff, it will beat you down and just make you feel like it's such a burden and it's so horrible. And you got to remember, it's kind of like to be able to be present and be like the watchers, you know, be in observation and to understand that all these different souls are learning things and playing things out. Like, there's a lot going on here. And don't get too caught up in all the drama and just let things play out. And so anyways, and as they're playing out, you got to remember to love yourself, love everyone, and have a loving day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow.